One day, Edward was talking to Trevor when Douglas steamed by. He was pulling a train of heavy coal cars. "Come on, Edward. Stop gossiping in the sun when there's work to be done." Later, Edward spoke to Douglas. "Trevor and I are old friends, and you and he have a lot in common, too." "We do?" quizzed Douglas. "And what would that be?" "Scrap," said Edward quietly. Douglas gasped. "Don't mention that word. It makes me wheels wobble." "It does the same to Trevor," replied Edward. "He was being sent to the scrapyard, but the vicar and I saved him, and now he's really useful again. Even so, Sir Topham Hatt certainly does need another steam engine here." "Aye, he does, and quickly." That night, Douglas was still working.
Douglas had taken the midnight goods to a station on the other railway. He was shunting, ready for his return journey, when he heard a faint... "That sounds like an engine," he thought. The came again. This time it sounded almost despairing. "Who's there?" he asked. A whisper came. "Are you a Fat Controller's engine?" "Aye, I'm proud of it." "Thank goodness. I'm Oliver. We're escaping to your railway, but we've run out of coal and have no more steam."
"From what?" "Scrap." Douglas shivered. Then he remembered Edward's story about saving Trevor.
"Then it's glad I'll be to help ye. But we maun work fast." Both crews joined in, wrote out transit labels, and chalked scrap everywhere they could. Douglas marshalled Oliver in front of his train.
"Come on."
"Yee-hoo! Yee-hoo!" yelled a passing diesel. "A steamer's escaping! Yoo-hoo!" Douglas puffed firmly on. "Take no notice," he counselled. But they were stopped before they could clear the station's throat. The foreman's lamp shone on Oliver. "Ah!" he exclaimed. "A Western engine." His light flickered further back. "A Western auto coach and goods brake too. You can't take these." "Can we? No," said Douglas's driver. "They're all for us. See for yourself." Douglas's guard showed him the labels and papers. "Seems in order," said the foreman grudgingly. "But it's queer." "Sure and it is," began the guard. "But I could tell you queerer." "So could I," interrupted the foreman. "Right away, guard."
That was a real thing.
"We've had worse," smiled Oliver. "We ran at night. Friendly signalmen would pass us from box to box when no trains were about. We got on well till Control heard about a mystery train. Then they tried to hunt us down." "What did you do?" "A signalman let us hide on an old quarry branch. Driver, fireman and guard blocked the cutting with rubbish. We stayed there for days, with diesels baying and growling like hounds outside. I was very frightened then." "Small blame to ye," said Douglas feelingly. Presently they rumbled over the bridge and onto the Fat Controller's railway. "We're home. They can't catch you now." "Tell Isabelle and Toad, please." Douglas called out the news and heard a joyful ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling. He was surprised. Oliver chuckled. "That's Isabelle," he said. "There's a bell on her, you see. She's clever." "Je ne sais." Douglas was impressed. "About this Toad," he continued. "Is he—" "What do you wish?" said his driver. "Yon's the works. We maun slip in unbeknownst and find a place for Oliver." Douglas tried hard to be quiet, but the night foreman heard them and had to be told their secret. "I know just the place," he said, and showed them an empty siding nicely hidden away. Oliver said goodbye and thank you, and Douglas puffed away. "Yon's an enterprising engine," he thought. I won away here with Donald, but I'd have been scared to do it on my own.
The next day, Douglas told the other engines all about Oliver. Sir Topham Hatt will have to know, said James. Douglas should tell him at once, added Gordon. Well, here he is, said a voice. Now, what's this all about? Beg pardon, sir, but we do need another engine. Yes, sir, ventured Gordon. A steam engine, sir.
They, said the Fat Controller gravely, are rare. And unless one escapes, there's little hope. But, sir, burst out Donald, one has. And thanks to Douglas, he's now at our works, announced the Fat Controller. Sir, gasped Douglas, is there anything you don't know? More than you think, he laughed. Oliver's crew told me all you did, Douglas. Oh, sir, you couldn't see a braw wee engine and him in trouble and no do a wheel's turn. More than a wheel's turn, I fancy. Douglas, I'm pleased with you. Oliver, Isabelle and Toad will soon be ours. Oliver and Isabelle are just what we need for Duck's branch line. Loud cheers greeted this announcement. And Toad wants to be your brake van, Douglas. Thank you, sir. I'd hoped for that. He and I'll do brawly together. The Fat Controller soon had Oliver, Isabelle and Toad mended and painted in full Great Western colours. Then he rescued 3 more Western auto coaches. 2, Alice and Mirabelle, he gave to Duck. The 3rd, Dulcie, joined Oliver and Isabelle. Duck and Oliver are happy on their branch line. It runs along the coast to the small railway. We reopen branches, they boast. They're very proud of this indeed.
The others laughed at first and called it the Little Western. Duck and Oliver were delighted, and so the Little Western it will always be.